has published an important regulation to join the European coordination in the fight against crime. However, the media has overlooked it, despite the fact that data protection regulations are being modified once again. This is the approval of the new Organic Law 4 of 2024. This law, which seeks to remedy the workaround that was Organic Law 3 of 2021 to avoid further fines from the European Union, aims to modernize and strengthen the tools of the security forces and to comply with what was signed and published in 2018, declaring that all police information falls under EU jurisdiction and sovereignty. And, of course, Spain also has to pay for the Pegasus scandals and patriotic police forces. However, this absolute obligation to share biometric data within the European Union generates an intense moral debate about the balance between security and privacy. The intention of a government that wants to appear transparent in Europe, after cases such as spying on anyone who did not think like police and judicial authorities using Pegasus and patriotic police forces acting independently of the government, is clear. The goal is to improve judicial and police cooperation to appear more transparent within the EU, and, internally, to penalize files that collect unregulated data and those that collect opinions. But, at what price? This is the question we must ask ourselves. Should we be warning of the risks posed by this new regulation? Are we facing an effective tool to combat crime or an open door to mass surveillance and social control at the continental level? One of the most controversial points of the new law is the mandatory inclusion of biometric data in the central register of convicts for any sentence. From now on, fingerprints and facial recognition data will be shared with other EU countries, even if the crime is minor, even if the crime is a matter of opinion, even if it is not a crime in other states. According to the government, this measure will speed up police investigations and allow for the arrest of criminals operating in different countries. However, criticisms have not been slow to emerge. Experts such as Josep Jova, who prepared the Pegasus report in Spain at the request of several MEPs, and Laura Mora, president of Aspertic, warn of the risk that this sensitive information may be used for purposes other than those for which it was collected. Organic Law 4, 2024, presents an important dilemma in data protection. It is argued that access to a greater amount of biometric information will enable security forces to be more effective in combating terrorism and organized crime. On the other hand, common sense warns us of the risk posed by the creation of massive databases with biometric information. It was the feverish dream of the German Nazis and the Spanish Francoists alike. There are fears that this data could be subject to theft, leaks, or misuse by states with unscrupulous leaders. And no one guarantees that the police of a state will keep the data even after it has expired. A broad and informed public debate is needed on the ethical and legal limits of biometric technology and its impact on society. So far, states have only sold fear. Another new feature introduced by Organic Law 4 of 2024 is the strengthening of the European Criminal Records Information System, ECRIS, for nationals of third countries. This system allows for the exchange of criminal record information between member states of the European Union and extends this to citizens of third countries and their states. With the new law, the information that can be shared through ECRIS is expanded to include biometric data. The aim is to facilitate the identification of third country nationals who have committed crimes within EU territory or otherwise. This measure has been applauded by some sectors that believe it will improve migration control and internal security. However, organizations such as ASPER-TIC have expressed concerns about the impact this measure may have on the right to privacy. It is feared, with good reason, that the system could be used to discriminate against people based on their national or ethnic origin. States are overusing terms like terrorist. The creation of a central register of minors is another aspect that has sparked controversy regarding Organic Law 4 of 2024. This register will collect information on all juvenile offenders, including personal biometric data and the history of committed offenses. But it doesn't stop there. There will also be a record of administrative interventions for non-delinquent minors at risk. The government justifies the creation of this register by the need to improve the protection of minors and prevent reoffending. However, there are plenty of reasons to harshly criticize this measure. A register of this type stigmatizes juvenile offenders and minors at risk and may hinder their social reintegration. Organic Law 4 of 2024 seeks to improve judicial and police cooperation between Spain and other countries. We have already noted the context from which it arises. The possibility of sharing information on criminals and suspects, including biometric data, could be a useful tool to combat transnational crime. Certainly, it facilitates the work of security forces in prosecuting crimes such as terrorism, drug trafficking, cyber attacks, international fraud, and even human trafficking. However, international cooperation in security also raises important questions. What guarantees are there that data shared with other countries will be handled properly and in accordance with European data protection legislation? Organic Law 4 of 2024 brings us face to face with a complex and socially significant debate that has yet to begin. The fight against crime and the protection of citizen security are legitimate goals that we all share. However, the way in which these challenges are addressed cannot overlook the protection of fundamental rights. The new law, with its emphasis on biometric technology and mass data sharing, opens the door to an uncertain future where the line between security and individual freedom blurs. A broad and informed public debate is needed that involves all social actors to find a balance that guarantees security without sacrificing freedoms. The time to start is now.